So when a mother grows a baby inside her tummy, we say that she is pregnant, and human women are pregnant for 9 months, and after this time, they give birth to their baby. Now, most women will give birth to one baby at a time, but sometimes women give birth to 2, 3, or more babies at one time. So can you see in the first picture there are 2 babies? Well, when a mother gives birth to 2 babies at the same time or one after each other, they are called twins. So the mother is growing 2 babies inside her tummy at the same time. Then on the other side, we have a picture of 3 babies. Now, when 3 babies are born together, they are called triplets. So there are 3 babies and they are born one after another, and the mother grows 3 babies inside her tummy at the same time. Do you know any twins or triplets? Have you ever met any? Fantastic if you have. So some women have even been known to give birth to 7, 8, or even 9 babies at a time. Can you imagine that? Now, like I said, human women are pregnant for 9 months, but different mammals are pregnant for different lengths of time. So it often depends on how big the animal is. So larger animals are usually pregnant for longer than small animals. So as you can see, the hamster is a very small animal. So it's only pregnant for about 16 days. But they usually have between 4 and 6 babies at a time. Can you imagine that tiny little hamster having 4 to 6 babies in her tummy, growing 4 to 6 babies in her tummy at the same time? Wow, that's impressive, isn't it? Well, the elephant is a lot larger than the hamster. So the elephant is pregnant for a longer amount of time. It's pregnant for nearly 2 years. But unlike the hamster, it only has 1 baby at a time. Now, bearing in mind what we've said about size and how long animals are pregnant for, which of these animals do you think would be pregnant for the longest time? Could you pause the video now and have a think for me? Okay, yeah, too. So let's start with the small field mouse at the bottom. Can you see it? Well, that is the smallest out of the 4 animals. So therefore, I do not think that it will be pregnant for the longest amount of time. Because remember, larger animals are usually pregnant for longer than smaller animals. Well, the pig is the next biggest animal, but I still don't think it's pregnant for the longest amount of time because it's not as big as hippo and the bear. So it's between the hippopotamus and the bear. Which do you think it is? Shall we find out? Oh, it is the hippopotamus. And the hippopotamus is pregnant for around 240 days, which is the same as 8 months. So is the hippopotamus pregnant for more time or less time than a human woman? Yes, that's right. The hippopotamus, even though it is pregnant for the longest amount of time out of these 4 animals, is still pregnant for less time than a human woman who is pregnant for 9 months. Now, we've done a lot of talking about mammals who give birth to live young, but there is another way that animals can have babies. So animals that don't grow babies inside their mother's tummy lay eggs. So that includes most reptiles, most fish, and most birds. Now, some only lay 1 egg at once, but some can lay hundreds at one time. Now, because the eggs are growing outside of the mother's tummy, the mother is going to want to protect her eggs, isn't she? How do you think the mother will protect her eggs? Could you pause the video and have a think? Okay, yeah, too. Well, let's have a think. Animals that lay eggs will normally make a nest for their eggs. And this is so that the babies can grow safely and that they won't get damaged. But unfortunately, babies are less safe growing outside the mother compared to inside the mother. So the eggs can often be damaged, and this is either by predators eating them or them falling out of the nest. So the more eggs a mother lays, the more chances she will have of having babies that survive, that stay alive. So for example, if a mother only has 1 egg, there's less chance that her baby will survive compared to if she has hundreds of eggs. She's more likely to have babies that will survive. So once a baby is ready to be born, it will hatch from his egg. So can you see in the first picture, you've got a duckling and you can just see a little bit of it. I think it might be its beak, poking out of the egg. And this is a duckling starting to crack his egg out open so he can get out of it. And then once he's come out of his egg, he has officially been born. So once he's out of his egg, he's alive and breathing, okay? Because remember, when animals lay eggs, they do not give birth to live young because the animal is still growing inside the egg. It's only live when it cracks open its egg and starts breathing once it's out of its egg. Now, not all animals have hard shells like ducks and chicken eggs. Frogs, for example, lay eggs in water. Can you see them all in the water there? And they are covered in a material that's a little bit like jelly, and it's known as frog spawn. Have you ever heard of that before? Fantastic. Now, frogs lay lots of eggs at one time. As you can see, there are lots of eggs in that water, aren't there? There is a lot of frog spawn. Now that we've looked at different types of animals and how different types of animals have babies, we are going to look at these 3 pictures and decide which of these animals does not lay eggs. So let's have a look at the first picture. We have a crocodile. Well, what type of animal is a crocodile? Let's have a think. Well, it has scales, doesn't it? It has a scaly body and it can live in water or on land. So therefore, our crocodile is a reptile. Now the second one, our dog. Well, our dog has fur. Well, what type of animal was it that has fur or hair? Well, it's a mammal, isn't it? So our dog is a mammal. And then finally, we have our clownfish. Now our clownfish is a type of fish because it has fins and it has gills to help it to breathe. So we've got a reptile, a mammal, and a fish. Now, which one of these types of animals does not lay eggs? Well, I remember that the reptile lays eggs. And I remember that the fish lays eggs. It is the mammal that doesn't lay eggs. It is the dog, because remember, mammals give birth to live young. So therefore, out of these 3 pictures, the animal that does not lay eggs is the mammal. Okay, so now it's your turn. I want you to have a go at this one. We've got a penguin, a cat, a tiger, and a rhino. Okay, I want you to decide what type of animal these animals are, and then which of these animals does not give birth to live young. So which of these animals lays eggs instead? Pause the video now and have a think. Okay, Year 2. So let's have a look at the penguin. What type of animal is a penguin? It has wings, it has feathers, and it has a beak. Well, yes, that will mean that it is a bird. Now, what about the tiger? The tiger has fur, just like the cat does. So what type of animals are a tiger and a cat if they both have fur? What type of animal had fur or hair? Yes, it was a mammal, wasn't it? So our penguin is a bird and our tiger and cat are mammals. What about the rhino? Well, the rhino has some hair. You might not be able to see it, but it does have some hair. So therefore, it is a mammal as well. So we've got 1 bird, which is the penguin, and 3 mammals, the tiger, the cat, and the rhino. Now, was it a bird or mammals that do not give birth to live young? Well, I remember that mammals give birth to live young, don't they? And they feed their live young milk, whereas the bird lays eggs. So therefore, the penguin is the animal that does not give birth to live young. Fantastic. Well done if you got that right. Now, this is your task that you're going to be doing on your own. On your document, Year 2 Science, 1st of February resource, you have 2 boxes, one that says lays eggs and one that says gives birth. Now, you then on another piece of paper have lots of different animals. Now, you can choose to cut them out and stick them down in the right box, or you can just write the name of the animal in the box. It's up to you. So you need to look at each animal and decide, what type of animal is this? And then once you've decided, you need to then decide Does that type of animal lay eggs or give birth to live young? So let's do the first one together. So we have a cobra here. Now a cobra is a type of snake. Now what type of animal is a cobra? Does it have fur or hair? No, it doesn't, does it? Does it have feathers and wings and a beak? No, it doesn't, so it can't be a bird. Does it have gills and fins? Well, no, it doesn't, does it? So therefore, it has scales, so it must be a reptile. Now, can you remember, does a reptile give birth to live young or lay eggs? Fantastic. It is only mammals that give birth to live young. So therefore, our reptile, our cobra, lays eggs. Oh, it didn't move to the lays eggs column, but it was meant to. So a cobra you would put into the lays eggs column. So now it's your turn to have a look at the different animals and decide what type of animal is it, and then decide, does that type of animal lay eggs or give birth? Now you've also got another task, which is your plenary. And I'd like you to answer these questions as well and write answers and send them to the office so I can see your answers, please. So the first one, what does live young mean? Number 2, what does the length of pregnancy often depend on? What do animals that lay eggs normally do to keep them safe? And why are animals which grow outside the mother less safe? Okay, so I would also like to see answers to those questions to see how much you've retained from the lesson, to see how much you've remembered. Okay, so you've got your worksheet, which is your Year 2 Science 1st of February resource, and then your plenary questions. Wow, have a lovely rest of your day, Year 2, and I'm looking forward to learning more in our science lesson next week. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.